So one thing that's been really letting this car down are the engine mounts. They're sloppy, they're worn, and they just need to be replaced. They cause an awful lot of drivetrain movement, which you'll see in a second. But instead of going with standard ones, which I did actually order, I managed to find a set of used Revo Solid mounts for both the engine and the gearbox. So we're going to slap them on and hopefully they'll get rid of our drivetrain movement. Let's get it done. And that's the engine mount out, and as you guys can see, there's a lot of movement. It's not even like, doesn't even feel attached. Sort of wiggle it around. That's no good to anyone, guys. So let's get our lovely new, to me, engine mount in. So I ran into a problem. The original bolts are too long and they're bottoming out on the underneath the where the captive nut is. Wish I'd have known that. I even tried to trim the bolt as well, guys, but it's actually hitting on this bit here. Which is really annoying, and to make matters worse, it's started to piss down the rain. So guys, I'm in luck. I managed to find some of these bolts. They were longer, but I've chopped them down and hopefully they'll fit. I didn't actually expect to have to chop these bolts down, if I'm honest. I thought everything was to be a straight fit, but it looks like sometimes you've got to improvise. They're all empty. I'm fairly sure that shouldn't just fall out. So it was a little bit of play. It's nowhere near as bad as the gearbox mount. So I'd say that's pretty serviceable. No cracks or anything, so I'd say that mount's all right, but not suitable for turbo applications. So let's get the Revo one on. So it looks like the thickness of this is thinner than the original, same as this. So I might have to cut some bolts down for it to fit. See, look, that doesn't fit. So that's got a hump there, which this one doesn't. That's the opposite actually. It has a hump there too. Is it not for this engine? Here you go, guys. So on the engine mount, you've got this hump here, which fits into that groove there. Whereas on my Revo style mount, we have a hump in the middle as well. So it must not fit this mount here. So we definitely can't fit that then, guys. All that work for absolutely nothing, what a waste of time. So guys, we can't fit that mount. What an absolute waste of time. I don't know why. There's so much bloody issues. Not sure what to do really, guys. Whether I should modify the mount to fit, I don't know. Back to the drawing board, guys. So I'm gonna get the standard one fitted back in. There's nothing I can do now. This one doesn't seem to be too bad, but you know, just dropped it. But you know, I would have preferred the polyurethane, you know, mounts on both sides. So I'm not sure how it's going to drive like that either. Just one thing after another. Actually, I've just had a thought. Before putting this back, I might actually just fill it with the urethane that I've got. I have some polyurethane, Shore hardness, I think A65 or something. I'll double check in a minute, but I'm just going to fill this up with urethane just to tide me over. I don't know what the difference is going to be between having one fully, you know, solid mount and one, you know, just normal OE rubber style. So I've got it off. I might as well give it a go and see how it goes. So what I've got in here, guys, I've just got a little bit of water and degreaser. So I'm just going to clean the engine mount inside just to try and allow the polyurethane to stick properly. Just giving it a clean, doing what I can. So I just need to dry inside, but I don't have a compressor or anything, so I'm gonna try and do it with a blowtorch. It needs to be dry, guys, otherwise the urethane's just not gonna set. So if you've got a compressor, do it with a compressor. It'll make your life a lot easier. I don't have one, unfortunately. So here is our polyurethane. It's a Shore A60, so it's fairly soft, not like a plastic or even as solid as those other mounts, but it should do the trick. Should just stiffen it up a little bit and reduce a bit of movement. So it's mixed equal parts A and B. I don't have a scale with me, so I'm just going to do it by eyeball. So I've got 5 minutes to pour it, guys. And then just pour it around the edges here. You don't need to pour in the middle. Ever so sorry, guys. I ran out of space on my phone. So I filled up with polyurethane as far as it'll go. We don't want it overflowing, so it's in there as much as I can. So this will set in about 2 hours time, and be usable within 2 hours. So fingers crossed, it'll all be good.
2 hours later.
So it all trimmed. So as for flex, there is still a little bit in there. Well, you guys can see. Obviously this still rotates, but as for flex itself, there's just a little bit in there. It's a hell of a lot stiffer than it used to be. So it should be good. So I'm just gonna try and get some of this off here, just so we don't see it. let's get it fitted and see how it behaves. And if any of you guys are wondering, this is the product I used. Link will be in the description, but essentially I probably used around 300 milliliters together. So let's get that fitted, and I'll do it off camera as it's dark and pissing down with rain. Both engine mounts are now installed. Apologies about the light, but I'm finishing this up after work. We've got the transmission mount there, and then we've got the original engine mount there with polyurethane filled inside. So I'm going to give it a test drive now and see what it's like. So guys, I'm back now from the just the test drive. I only went down the road and back. I didn't do anything outrageous. So the slop is definitely reduced. Changing gears now is a little bit better, but I'm getting a really weird vibration, like and I knew obviously the engine mounts would be stiffer, so they would give you a little bit more feedback, but this feels like when I'm revving the engine, you know, almost the same feeling as what you'd get if your wheels weren't balanced properly. So it's a real weird vibration, and I don't know if I like it at all. You know, I'd be driving, I kind of getting vibration all the time. So maybe there's something wrong, maybe I haven't set it up right, or whatever, I don't know. I'm gonna look into it, but let me know in the comments, guys, whether you guys have fitted any, you know, solid engine mounts and what they feel like. You know, do they feel like you're, you know, like it's rumbling, you know, the whole car's rumbling? I don't know. So I've actually got a standard, brand new standard transmission mount. So I might actually try putting that on and just see how that goes. See if that sort of gives me any better feedback and, you know, sort of fixes the slot, but also doesn't mean I'm vibrating all the time. So I'm gonna give that a go and probably put those Revo ones up for sale. I think they're actually for the Mark 5 GTI rather than the R32, so obviously got sold something that wasn't right for my car, which they told me it was. You just got to check these things, I suppose. So all in all, definitely reduces the engine slop and the way it's moving. Changing gear feels great now. I've still got some slop though, so it must be something to do with my dog bone torque mount. So I'll probably investigate that in another video and see how we go. Also, what I'll do, guys, is I will do a comparison between the old, I've got a video of the old engine mounts and the slop, so the engine moving back and forward. So in the morning I'll do another video so you guys can see side by side, you know, the travel that I had in the engine compared to now, and we'll see how we go from there. So I've just done a cold start on the car, and with the Revo engine mount and obviously the polyurethane modified standard mount, and I don't know if you guys can pick up the sort of the vibration that I'm on about. I'm just gonna give it a rev and see if you can pick it up. I'll just put you on the dashboard to see whether you can feel it. Like it's rumbling. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and do the comparison of with these two engine mounts in there of engine movement, and then I'm going to whip that Revo mount off. I've actually got an OE replacement, a Vebby one for the transmission mount. I'm going to whack that on there and see if that cures the rumbling issue. I don't like it. There's no way I'm going to live with that. So I'm going to get that off and see what the difference the OE one makes. So guys, let's get that engine mount off and see what difference it makes. I won't record it. You've seen me do it in this video a number of times, so I'll get it on there now and I'll bring it back when I'm done. I've just finished up replacing the engine mount on the gearbox. Just done the first start and yeah, it's smooth as hell, so there was no way I was going to put up with living, you know, with that rumble that the Revo mounts gave. So I'm going to stick with the OE mount. It's a brand new mount, so I may even put some Polyflex inserts into it. I don't know, we'll see. So I'm just going to take it for a test drive, see how this mount performs, and see how we go. I've got the OE, brand new OE mount on the gearbox, and I got the original mount that came with the car with polyurethane, sort of liquid polyurethane that's filled up all the gaps. So see how it goes. So with the engine mounts, guys, one of the biggest problems I was having was it sort of smashing into gears. Like, ready? Don't know if you guys could tell that on camera, but under load it kind of like bangs into gear. I'll just bring it down a little bit. It doesn't happen when I'm on full throttle and when I'm smashing through gears, like, you know, flat out. Just kind of like most parts of throttle. Can you sort of feel that thud? Maybe it's my pendulum mount. I've got the HPA mount on there, the little HPA puck. So I would have thought that would reduce all the slop, but maybe the one at the above it is not working properly. I don't know. I'll get that changed and see how we get on. Well, guys, what an absolute palaver. Those engine mounts, oh, I just had a nightmare with them. First, the engine mount, I didn't put this in the video, but the first one I got sent for the gearbox side, the OE style one, just didn't even fit, so I didn't even bother putting that in the video. But those two Revo mounts, they were for GTI. Got mis-sold those, but I managed to sell them back to someone else who had a GTI, so made someone else happy and got my money back, which was great. So I've been driving the car for a couple of days with the engine mounts as they are, with the polyurethane insert on the engine mount and the brand new OE style transmission mount. And it does drive better, but I think that banging into gear is not the pendulum mount now. I actually think it's the flywheel and the clutch packs. I think the clutch packs are getting warm, which is causing them to sort of like snap into gear. And also the flywheel, I think, is the slop. The way it's banging is the slop within the dual mass flywheel. I think that's the problem. I can't really find any information online about that. I know that you get harsh gear changes with warm clutch packs, so definitely getting that. And I think the slop issue where it's sort of banging is actually the flywheel. So we're going to do that anyway. We're going to change those anyway. They'll probably be in the new year. You know, we've got family stuff coming up over Christmas. Pretty much December's booked out for me. Videos will be slow over the next couple of months while I sort of save up funds to get the clutch packs and stuff, because that stuff's not cheap. So bear with me, guys. We'll get the clutch pack and the flywheel done. We'll take it back to stealth and we'll try and get that 500 brake figure. So thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe, hit that notification bell, do all that good stuff. I'm nearly close to 1,000 subscribers, so I'm well over the moon, and if I can hit that 1,000 before the end of the year, I'd be absolutely made up. So cheers, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.
I know you told your friend you're not okay, and tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. Guess you're trying to